Really the key and what makes this work so terribly different is the degree of detail that we go into to find out what the exact characteristics of the individual vertebra in a person's neck are. And because we need to know that in order to know what the appropriate way for doing that correction is going to be with the least amount of force possible. So I often use this as an example here. Is I've got, let's say we've got, a set of keys right here. And we have this key, and this one here. And you'd recognize, okay, these are all keys. These are all approximately the same. But this key will not fit in this lock. This key will not fit in this lock. And try as you might, yeah, I suppose you could always, shove the key in and give it a really hard smash or something like that, hoping and expecting it's actually going to be able to open whatever door that you think it's going to be. But in reality, the more precise that fit's going to be, when you've got the right key fitting into the right lock, all you have to do is just give it that little bit of the release and it seems to go almost like magic. Now, really, especially when you're dealing with the atlas vertebra, the one up the very top, it lets you do this kind of movement right here. And so its characteristics are oriented a little bit where it moves forwards like this, side to side a bit, but not really turning because otherwise it locks against itself. And some people, it has very steep sideways angles. Other people, it's very steep from the front to back perspective, not unlike a rocking chair. And if you come in at the wrong angle, even if you're in the right spot, what'll happen is it'll end up locking against itself because really you've only got about 1 millimeter or 2 worth of give on side to side. If you come in too hard, I suppose you could always use more force and you can, drive the vertebra against in order to get it to release. But really, if you can find those characteristics for the individual, you don't have to use near as much force. And a lot of times what people will say, when we make the correction is that it? So, is that it? Just by using that right amount, if it lets everything release, really, and that's the key. The key, no pun intended, is to come in such a way where your body is not having to put up extra resistance to where it just sort of releases the way that it is designed. But again, because everybody is different, when we're doing these images, and the reason that we take the time to measure these different characteristics is so we can find out what that custom cut key or that custom cut adjustment is that's going to work the best for you with the least amount of force necessary, but then also is going to have the best opportunity to be able to make the greatest kind of change, the greatest unlockment, the greatest release in a person's body so that everything can start working, healing the way that it's supposed to.